Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome back in to another edition of Astros Recap. This is my second to last this year, at least as far as the regular season is concerned. But yeah, another week done for the Astros. As we draw ever closer to the end of the regular season. The Astros go 3-2 this week, so those 5 game weeks are always weird because I feel like 3-2 is underwhelming, but the 4-1 is sort of being greedy, so it's always a weird. Try to fix the camera here a little bit, but yeah, it's always a weird week just to sort of playing the Diamondbacks for 2. Usually expect to win both those games. Tampa Bay, obviously, a team that's sort of hard to. The Astros just haven't played Tampa Bay well. They did this year. They won 2 or 3 here, swept them back in Tampa Bay. They're 5-1 against them this year, but most years aren't like that. I feel like they struggle. Tampa Bay is just one of those teams that the Astros seem to struggle against. But so 3-2. Obviously, things are wrapped up. So it's not like we have to win these games or anything like that. But I just think it's getting to the end here, keeping the team healthy, and gearing up for the playoffs. So that's sort of the where we're at now. We got 3 more coming up with the Phillies here, and then we'll wrap things up there, and then the fun stuff starts to begin with the wild card series, and I'll be watching those, obviously keeping up and trying to figure out where the Astros, who they're going to play potentially, how the roster is going to shake out. So there's a lot of as the Astros get through Wednesday, that's when the fun baseball starts. That's what you play the 162 for, is for the playoffs here. So but as I take it, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I'll try to, at least, because I mean it's 10:50, October 2nd, 2022, 10:50 p.m. I got to get up early for work tomorrow, and I still got a lot of things I need to do tonight. So I'm gonna try to make this pretty short and sweet, concise, talking point, sticking to. But yeah, 5 games, so it's a shorter week to just begin with, so that's gonna help, obviously. But yeah, you had the off day going in and out of the series against Arizona. They kill them Tuesday, 10-2. I mean, that game was never really in doubt. The Astros bats broke out. Luis Garcia gets the win. Been pitching well of late. Just real quickly, he does go 6 solid, 1 earned run. ERA moves down to 3.81. And the offense, you broke out. You scored 10 runs after scoring 11. Now, let's see. I'm off a little bit here. Scoring 6, I guess, that final game in Baltimore. But the Astros hit their fair share of home runs. Altuve had 2. Hensley hit his first ever. Bregman 22. Pena 20. So, I mean, they hit 5 home runs. I mean, that was big. But Hunter Brown also got in there. He was good. They're using Hunter Brown now these days. I feel like, they're trying to sort of get him into the routine of pitching out of the bullpen, which is going to be his role in the playoffs. But he got a solid inning in. He actually walked 2 guys, gave up a hit, didn't allow any runs, and struck out 2. So Phil Maton got in 2 innings. He gave up an earned run, struck out 2. But we know who Phil Maton is. That'll be interesting to see if he makes the postseason roster coming up here, but we'll wait and see on that. They do lose an extra inning game on Wednesday to Arizona 5-2. Day off Thursday. They lose Friday as well, 7-3. But they take games on Saturday and Sunday. So Verlander got the start there in that second game against the Diamondbacks. Pretty good. 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, struck out 8, walked 1. That's a Verlander start. 1.80 ERA. It's the no decision. Will Smith came in, was not very good. 2 earned runs. I think Abreu actually gave up 1 of those inherited runners in the extra inning there. Montero and Presley both were solid in their 8-9 innings, pitching the 8th and the 9th there. But Will Smith, I think, really, a guy that I've been complimentary of, because he had pretty good stretch, but yeah, not good there. Will Smith probably just makes this roster playoff wise just because he's a lefty. Yeah, I talk about this. Lefties get free passes, especially when you're the lone lefty. But I don't necessarily think you need one in the playoffs. I really don't. Um, but yeah, losing Friday, but taking Saturday games on the Tampa Bay clinched on Friday with their win, so they're not really playing. I mean, maybe for seeding, I'll look at the standings here in a few minutes, but it's not like they had to win these games. Now Philly coming in here for these next three games will. They got the Brewers right on their back, so they need to win these games. That's why the Phillies are going to be more motivated to win these games than the Astros will be. And the Astros got, they're trying to keep their starters sort of on their routine. So I need to check the Sunday start. I think it'll be Valdez, but I know it's McCullers tomorrow and Verlander on Tuesday. So usually you'd expect good starts. With McCullers, it's hard to tell, but with Verlander, you'd expect a good start. So, um, yeah, we'll see. Be interesting to see, how the Astros sort of approach things. They don't really need to win these games. Just don't get swept. I'd hate to end the season at 104 losses. 104 wins. I've been sort of shooting for 105, but I wouldn't be totally upset if they actually got 106. Um, so just at least win one of these next three is all I really ask for. But that's all really. But it's a weird thing here. So if I dive into these starts, I'm not going to try to. I don't want to go too far into this. But losing Friday, Framber Valdez loser. So Valdez, lost his quality start streak against the Orioles, and he was terrible on Friday. He gave up 6 earned runs in 5 1/3 innings, 9 hits, walked 3, struck out 2. So Valdez back-to-back bad starts, not good to see going into the postseason. Now, I have to double check this. I think he gets the start on Sunday, so he might have a chance to sort of at least, go into the playoffs on a high note if he pitches well there. But that was really the story of that game, is giving up all, Valdez second straight bad start, really. ERA is still under 3, 2.89, 16-6 on the year. But yeah, Saturday was good. Javier was great again. I think Javier right now, I don't think you can pitch him out of the bullpen come playoff time. 11-9, 2.54 ERA. And they beat McClanahan for the second time, who was sort of neck and neck with Verlander for Cy Young, but I think Verlander sort of risen ahead at this point in time. Dylan Cease is also a candidate, but I think Verlander's got him beat. So, but Hunter Brown gets in another inning here. Two strikeouts, gave up a hit. ERA at 1.00. Montero gets the 8th. Presley gets the 9th. So it's rounding into form. You're 8-9 guys. It's going to be Montero, Presley. Like Neris, who had been the 8th inning guy for the majority of the year, is not going to be involved there, which I think is the right decision. Montero's got 22 holds. Presley had 32 saves. That's sort of your combination. Now, Presley gave up a run, was not very good in the 9th inning, walking 2. But, he did get through it. Also struck out 2. To win that game 2-1. Offense didn't do a whole lot today. Same scenario. Pena's been sort of the hottest hitter on the team right now, as he seems to be getting hits, home runs, driving in guys. But yeah, I mean, they win the game 3-1 today. Garcia again, very solid start. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. Struck out 4, walked 1 guy. So Garcia's been one of their better pitchers of late, to be honest with you. Stanek got a solid inning, and I guess, but he never makes it easy. Hit, walked a guy, struck out 2. Abreu had a solid inning. He gave a hit, but struck out the side. Montero was in to get the save, as Presley had the day off, apparently. But yeah, and Montero was very shaky. 2 walks, a hit, struck out a guy. But yeah, we'll see how the season shakes out. It's hard to. Let me double check. I want to double check this. God, I'm all out of whack here. Let's see. Let's find it. Let's find it. Let's find it. Let's find it. Yes, Valdez will start on Wednesday. Just wanted to double check that. So if he can have a good start there, feel a little bit better about him. I think it's pretty clear that it will be Verlander. If Valdez has a third bad start, I don't know what. That's a tough situation to put yourself in. Hopefully it's quality. You get back to the quality sort of status of Fromber Valdez on Wednesday there. But as of now, he's your two guy after Verlander. Three is really hard to come up with. I mean, I would think, if you're asking me right now, I'm going Javier. I know Javier's the one guy that has experience out of the bullpen, but I don't think you can put him there. I really don't think you can do it. Be interesting. They have a lot of options. Urquidy, he's been sort of the shaky one lately as Garcia sort of elevated himself. So as we get there, we'll see how things shake out. But I think Javier's got to be your three. And you got to figure out what you're going to do with Lance McCullers, because he's probably another guy that could also start game three. So, guy that's got, a lot of play. Well, all these guys got playoff experience. I mean, they've all pitched in the playoffs before. So, even Garcia, he started a World Series game last year. He's the one sort of guy in the rotation that was actually healthy the entire year last year. All these guys, yeah, they got playoff experience, so it's not like the bright lights are going to sort of, frazzle them in any way, I wouldn't think. Hunter Brown, he'll be new, but he'll be a bullpen arm for him. So, but I want to see good starts from Lance. Verlander doesn't need to prove anything on Tuesday, but I think the most important guy I'm looking at will be Valdez on Wednesday. He's got to have a good start. If he doesn't, I won't feel safe with him, pitching. If he comes into the playoffs fresh off of 3 very subpar, poor outings. So, that'll be interesting. But, we're healthy. They called Jake Meyers back up, and I expect to see Jake Meyers in these next. They're trying to get a gauge on him. So he played Saturday, didn't play Friday. He's called up Friday, wasn't in the lineup. Didn't play today. He had 2 hits on Saturday, made a good play in the outfield. But I think there's 3 games to see Jake Meyers to see if he's a part of the playoff roster. Because it's an interesting scenario. So, yeah. But, yeah, I was high on Jake Meyers. Just didn't work out this year after the injury. People thought he was sort of nursing the injury, or at least not, going all out with it because, well, I don't know. But they, he had his rehab for about 2 weeks in AAA, came up, couldn't get the job done after about a month, sent him back down. He's been in AAA for a month, and now he's called back up. So we'll see what we get out of Jake Meyers, what the decision will be. They're moving into the playoffs. Yeah, people like Eliminates Diaz will be on the roster. Mauricio Dubon doesn't deserve it, but since he plays everywhere, he probably gets a pass as being a reserve sort of utility type of guy. But hitting-wise, he doesn't deserve it. Mancini doesn't even deserve it, but, Mancini, that was a trade they made at the deadline, so I'd assume he's going to be on the roster as well. So, but yeah, they haven't been good hitters. Pena's been hot here. He plays shortstop, obviously. You get your mainstays, obviously. I'm going to get into when we finish off this 3-game set, I'm going to have a lot of time, whether it's Thursday, Friday, to get on here and sort of break things down roster-wise. I know I'm sort of already thinking about that as I speak now, but I need to just hold off and save my opinions for that later on in the week here. But, yeah, I'm sort of getting off base with just how the week went. But, again, games aren't important right now. They're just not. But hopefully I'll be looking closely for these next three games. Mostly Valdez on Wednesday is what I want to see. And I want to see Jake Meyers. So that's really the big things I'm looking at. But yeah, we'll see how things shake out. So But yeah, I'm not going to go much further. I'm at 15 minutes. I wanted to keep this short. So I'll be wrapping things up. Yeah, I will plan to be back on Thursday or Friday. The Astros will play their first playoff game. I could actually get on Monday, to be quite honest with you. I might wait, but their first game's on Tuesday. Weird how the way they do this because they play Tuesday in the ALDS, off day Wednesday. They stay home, play Thursday at home, off day Friday, and then they got back-to-back games Saturday and Sunday, and then they don't have the off day Monday. They come back home. So if it goes 5 games, that is, we'll see who the Astros play. We'll see how things shake out, but. This is when we start to get excited a little bit. I mean, you want to finish off the season, but, we got to get the standings here. One thing I wanted to just quickly look at here is I'm pulling up here. Astros 104-5. But the Phillies have a 2-game lead over Milwaukee. So they do need to win a few or get Milwaukee to lose. Magic number looks like it's 2. Yeah, magic number for them is 2. So they get a W. Milwaukee loses. They might not be playing for a bunch either. I thought that was closer, but Milwaukee, yeah, it's 2 back. So yeah, Phillies' magic number to clinch a wild card spot is 2. Looks like the Braves might win that NL East division. And then, yeah, all the wild card spots are set. And the American League, Toronto looks like Toronto will, unless something crazy happens, but it looks like they will have the number 1 wild card there. Seattle looks like they'll have 2, Tampa Bay at 3. Put things at, things stay the way they are. The Astros will be playing the winner of, well, so it changed. Seattle or Toronto. Obviously, the easier matchup you would think is Seattle. The Astros have played Seattle pretty well this year, but Toronto, not so much. But I kind of want to play the best, so it's funny how that changed. It was Toronto and Tampa Bay, but now it's Toronto and Seattle. We'll see if that stays the way it is, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, we'll wrap things up there, and I'll shake out all this and have more concise and clear picture when the season ends. So, not going to do much speculation. But we'll wrap things up there. Love to hear a comment section below. Reach out. Like the video. Share it with your friends. All that good stuff on YouTube there. And we'll talk to you at some point, maybe at the end of this week, early next week. But we'll see how things shake out. And we'll see you whenever I see you next.